Welcome to the Joe Fragilé channel. I'm Joe Fragilé, white guy on a mission to bring you the alternative truth. Today, we're going to be talking about how President Donald Trump is infallible. That's right, he can't do anything wrong. Look at the way he won the election. He did it in a landslide, but there was so much riding against him that clearly the man must be divine. I mean, by many accounts, he ran the worst campaign in US history. I don't think so, but let's look at the facts. Okay? His rival suffered no scandals. He had multiple convictions. He had secret tapes that were released, probably all fake. He had scandal after scandal after scandal, did not impact his vote whatsoever. She raised more money than him, and most of his funds, most of the money he raised, went to his legal bills. He spent his rallies saying the US is awful, the terrible country, a third world country, only he can fix it. But basically, the American dream is dead, right? And Harris, well, she talked about hope and unicorns and fluffy bunnies. Trump threatened his enemies. Well, Harris sat down with the Cheneys. Trump said phrases like the poisoning the blood, the vermin, the enemy within. Uh, well, Harris said she would never say anything bad about the portion of the electorate who didn't vote for her. Trump, there's no easy way to say this, but he filleted a microphone. Right? Well, Harris, well, she just laughed a lot. Even so, the real kicker, Trump chose JD Vance. Now, I love JD. He's my guy. He says a lot of things that make a lot of sense, but he doesn't have, what's that word? Charisma. He can't order donuts effectively. He tells women to have kids or else they're not worth as much as women who don't have kids. Uh, I mean, these are all sensible things that he says, but they don't go down very well with the people he's talking about. He wrote the introduction to Project 2025, and yet somehow Trump was able to completely distance himself from the unpopular content of Project 2025. Now, there's a lot of great stuff in there, but it's not going to win you elections. And despite the economy being stronger now than when Trump left office, Trump reminded people that prices go up over time. He's not going to introduce deflation. So all he has to do is precisely nothing. Just don't screw it up, and things will continue to get better for the economy. It's genius. So, despite all the issues that would sink any other campaign, he won. He can do no wrong. Remember when he said he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue? He could machine gun down half the population of New York because their votes don't count anyway. And, he'd still win the next election. So, when Trump changes the rules for presidential terms so he can run again in 2028, he doesn't have to campaign. Why spend time and effort? He could just be on the golf course. He doesn't need to put any effort in at all. He doesn't need to spend anything or do anything. And he'll win because he's infallible. There's nothing he can do wrong, at least in the eyes of the electorate. There is one question I have, one mystery. Trump told us that the Democrats would cheat and steal the 2024 election. He said they'd cheat and lie like hell, just like they stole the 2020 election. And because Trump is infallible and he's never wrong, that raises the question, why didn't they cheat this time? Maybe the Republicans had found a way to stop them cheating. But then why would Trump warn us they were going to cheat if he already knew they weren't going to be able to? This time around, Trump won. There's no contest. Even the liberals and progressives admit it. Why wouldn't they try to cheat this time? I don't understand why you cheat in 2020. Nothing's changed for 2024, but they didn't cheat. Maybe they thought, oh, the Republicans are watching us more closely this time, so we won't cheat just in case. It's the only explanation, right? Otherwise, Trump was lying. Lying? No, that's not even possible. As we've discussed, Trump is infallible. The reading today is taken from the Gospel according to Carrie Lake, chapter 20, verse 12. And in that time, Carrie did foretell of great election fakery, and she did lose her bid for governor. Lo, she then ran for senate, and spake again of terrible fraud on cable news in her soft-focused magnificence. No matter what the results, she spaketh, they are not real. And she did file lawsuits before a single vote was cast. But the Lord our Trump did win the presidency, and yet St. Carrie was unable to secure a seat, meaning the people clearly did not like her one tiny bit. And St. Carrie was in a terrible bind, as claiming fraud would also question votes from her Lord Trump. And lo, she did pivot hastily, and said she would accept the results in hopes that her Lord Trump would throw her a fricking bone. Thanks be to Arizona for seeing some sense. Amen. I'm Joe Fragilé, white guy on a mission. Have yourselves a great day. Are we done? That reading, I love Carrie Lake. What are you doing giving me these readings? I'm going to start choosing them myself. Thanks, Bob.